Hey guys, my name is Randy. Please hit the like and share. Really help get this video out. I'm going to start this out by telling you, first of all, I'm going to read you a verse from Romans 11:25. For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery, lest ye should be wise in all your own conceits, that blindness in part has happened to Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles has come in. Fullness in the Gentiles, which means the rapture. When everyone who believes is going to believe, they're taken up, Israel's eyes are opened. Okay? So, you pre-tribber, 7-year tribulation people, think about that. If Israel's eyes are opened when the rapture happens, then why on earth would they go back to animal sacrifice? Makes no sense at all. Now, on another hand, another part of that, think about this, okay? Satan's given power. It's his kingdom. The church is gone. Why would he allow peace? He has all the power. There's nobody to stop him. He's going to allow peace? Daniel 9:27 is the most misunderstood verse in the Bible. Now, we're going to go straight to that, and I'm going to explain it. This is why covenant confirmed. I'm going to prove this. Okay. 70 weeks are determined upon thy people and upon the holy city to finish the transgression and to make an end of sins and to make reconciliation for iniquity and to bring in everlasting righteousness and to seal up the vision and prophecy and to anoint the most holy. Okay. A lot of people say an end of sins has not been brought in. I can prove that that has happened. Okay. Now, to finish the transgression, all that, and to anoint the most holy. Anywhere you look in the Bible, when they're anointed, they're baptized. So going from what most people say, you can do BC to AD calculator, go from 457 BC to 31 AD. Okay? That's when they say the prophecy ended. That's when everyone else says that's the 69 weeks and there's only 1 week left. Well, then why does that come out to 487 years? Which means there's less than 3 years left of that prophecy. Do the math. Now, I can prove, all you have to do is look in Luke. It tells you there was a census the year Christ was born. The year of the Roman census was 8 BC. It would have been at the end of 8 BC when Christ would have been born, which would have put him on a cross at 28 AD. And I argue also that the decree wasn't in 457, it was 459. If they were off by 4 years on Christ, I'm sure 2 years, 400 and some years previous wouldn't be a far stretch. That puts it at 486 and a half years, which means there's 3.5 years left. Now, Daniel 9:27, okay, let's read Daniel 9:27. And he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. How long did Christ minister for? It's 3.5 years. He was baptized, which would have taken this to the 62-week mark, okay? And in the midst of the week, he shall cause the sacrifice and oblation to cease. And for the overspreading of abominations, the overspreading of bad sin, he shall make it desolate, like it doesn't exist. Even unto the consummation, the finish, which is determined, what rapture is a determined time, shall be poured out on the desolate, on the empty, the Gentiles, everybody. So let's go to Galatians. Let's go to Galatians chapter 2, chapter 3, starting at verse 15. Brethren, I speak after the manner of men, though it be put in a man's covenant, yet if it be confirmed, no man disannulleth or addeth thereto. Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. he saith not, and to seeds as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is Christ. And this I say, that the covenant that was confirmed before God in Christ, the law, which was 430 years after, cannot disannul that it should make the promise none effect. The covenant that was confirmed, well, we just talked about that in Daniel 9:27. The church wants you to believe that that's the Antichrist. Tell me, in what part of the 70-week prophecy does it say anything about an Antichrist? Not one place. It talks about bringing in the end of sins, which was done, everlasting righteousness, which was done, all that stuff. The only thing that has not happened was to seal up the prophecy, which is the last 3.5 years. Now we go to Hebrews. Okay. And right here. And so after he had patiently endured, he obtained the promise. For men, verily I swear by the greater, and an oath for confirmation is to them an end of all strife, wherein God, willing more abundantly to shew unto the heirs of promise the immutability of his counsel, confirmed it by an oath. This is Hebrews chapter 6, starting at verse 15 through 17. Confirmed it by an oath. Confirmed it. Okay? Now, talk about the end of who needeth not daily, which is Daniel 12, when the daily is taken away. The word sacrifice, you can look it up in the King James. It's added. The word sacrifice is added. When the daily is taken away. Who needeth not daily, and those high priests to offer up sacrifice, first for his own sins, and then for the people's. For this he did once, when he offered up himself. This is Hebrews chapter 7, verse 27. Okay? Then we go down to chapter 8, verse 6. But now hath he obtained a more excellent ministry, by how much also he is the mediator of a better covenant, which was established upon better promises. For if the first covenant had been faultless, then it should no place have been sought for the second. For finding fault with them, he saith, Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I make a new covenant with those of the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind. Where there's law, there's transgression. And write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. This is talking about during the 1,000-year reign with Christ, okay? A lot of people say, oh, well, the end of sin hasn't been brought in. Okay, so when does the end of sin get brought in? When Christ comes back second time? Okay, if that's true, there's still a 1,000-year reign with Christ where the Jews are going to sin. Satan is even released at the end of the 1,000-year reign with Christ. So if you don't believe an end of sin has been brought in, then you haven't been reading the New Testament. The end of sin has been brought in. Okay. The redemption. And now he's talking about for the redemption of the transgressions that were under the First Testament, for the redemption of the transgressions that were under the First Testament, which are called, must receive the promise of eternal inheritance. Okay. Now we're going to talk about the end of sacrifice and offering. And every priest standeth daily ministering and offering oftentimes the same sacrifices which can never take away sins. But this man, after he had offered one sacrifice for sins, forever sat down in the right hand of God, for henceforth expecting till his enemies be made his footstool. For by one offering he hath perfected forever them that are sanctified. Now, where remissions of these is, there is no more offering for sin. Brought an end to sacrifice and offering. Christ did that 3.5 years after he started ministering when he died on the cross. It was half of the last week of that prophecy. There's 3.5 years left. Now, like I said, I'll even show you the BC to AD calculator. Okay. Now, if we go from 459, see if we can see that. 459 BC to 2880, that 486, and it'd be 486.5. This doesn't do half years. Now, if we do 457 to 31, like they believe, well, that leaves 3 years left. So, well, that makes no sense. And now let's do the math. If Christ was on the cross, if he was born in 4 BC, why would there ever be a need to leave Israel if King Herod died in March of 4 BC? So King Herod died before Christ was born by their belief of the year 31 AD, which doesn't make any sense. So either we go by the 8 BC, which King Herod would have been alive, they would have been gone for a few years, and it would put him on a cross at 28 AD. All right, now we go from 28 AD, and we look at the possible days. Okay, we know Christ was crucified on a Wednesday. He was in the tomb for 3 nights and 3 days, 3.5 days, basically. So there's 2 dates that work for that. They have 31, the year 31 highlighted because they believe 31 was the date. And I found this after I figured out he was crucified in 28 AD. The only other date that works, right there, Wednesday, April 28th, and that's 28 AD. This is 27, 26, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. No other day in there works, just the 2. So either it's 28 AD or 31 AD. And if you believe it's 31, that's fine, if that's what you want to believe. But do the math. Either way, we have 3 years left. There is no 7-year tribulation. These people that keep talking about a 7-year tribulation are going off of Daniel 9:27, and it's not true. Jesus said, when Israel is coaxed by armies, surrounded by armies, know that its desolation is near. Jesus didn't say, when they're surrounded by armies, there's going to be peace. He said, when they say peace and security, then sudden destruction comes upon them. Which, that's what they've been saying last year for the summit, and this year for the summit, they're saying the same thing, peace and security. What happened last year, right after the summit, the Peace and Security Summit? October 7th, which the summit was the 23rd of September. October 7th, what happened? Okay. This year, they're saying the same thing. Now, Jesus didn't say, then a peacemaker is going to come in. He said, know that its desolation is near. When Israel is surrounded, know that its desolation is near. What happens at the beginning of Revelation? Israel is made desolate. They're not protected by God until they accept Christ. God does not protect them until they accept his Son. That is when he takes them into the wilderness, a place that has been prepared for them, and that's where he takes care of them for 3.5 years. Satan is given power for 3.5 years. There's no 7 years in Revelation at all. Israel is made desolate in the very beginning of it. I'm hoping I've got everything on here that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to make these videos kind of short. This is already almost 15 minutes, which is irritating me. But listen, stop, believe in everything you've been taught. Okay? One of the biggest lies, two of the biggest lies. Number one, Daniel 9:27. That is not an Antichrist. You show me anywhere where it says anything about a 7-year period in the end. And in that whole prophecy, show me where it says there's anything to do with the Antichrist. It's all about bringing in and sins. It's all about Christ. It's nothing to do with the Antichrist at all. Whoever made that up is evil. Second biggest lie, and I'll explain this in another video, you can believe it or not. The rapture is not physical. The rapture is spiritual. The Bible is clear that everyone dies. Everyone dies, though we do not all sleep. Okay. Watch my other video for that. I'll log it. I'll name it the spiritual rapture or something like that. But I'm sure you'll find it on my page regardless. God bless. Hopefully this video has helped you out. Please, like I said, please like and share. Get this out. Share it to as many people as you can, because a lot of people think that we're looking for a third temple to be built. It's not going to happen. A third temple is not being built. We are God's third temple. So please, like and share. Thank you. God bless.